in a barren wasteland of parts salvaged from many broken PS2s, one man attempted to do the unthinkable and fix a dinosaur. This is the source of my frustration over the last 15 hours, probably. So, I had a PS2 from the dumpster from GameStop, and the tray was a little busted, and I figured, well, maybe that was the reason. Maybe it got dropped while the tray was open and messed something up, so I figured, well, laser could be okay. And I got another PS2 yesterday in pristine cosmetic condition, so I figured I could try to combine them into one, unsuccessfully. I've done pretty much everything that I've researched I could do. As you can see, there's tools of various kinds, things, lots of screws. And I've gotten down to the nitty-gritty. I've even taken apart parts of the laser assembly and attempted to see, if something could be adjusted and, get a little better cleaning of the lens. Not happening, folks. It's just not happening. I mean, I'm pretty good with following directions, and I'm not electronics repairman by any means, but pretty capable, because when I was young I used to take apart electronics and machines and things like that would break, just to see how they worked, and didn't usually try putting them back together though, so that's something that I have to be more careful with, because it's easy to break something down, but it's hard to remember where all the parts go. But this is a pretty simple. So while we have this open, why don't I just explain a little bit about what it is I was doing. Okay, so when you take apart your PS2, let me grab the bottom here. You probably already know this from watching videos, but I'll show you anyway. There are 8 main screws. 2, 4, 6, 8. Some of them are these really long support type screws that go all the way through the system, but only have threads about 3/4 of an inch long. And then they have these little stubby regular screws with a little longer thread length that go, ow, jeez, go right here. So anyway, take all those out, and you can loosen the top, which looks like this. This is the dirty one, the nasty one. And you kind of rock it forward and lift, because what you have to do is clear the controller port here that's just connected by a ribbon. It kind of just, once it's screwed down in, it kind of just sets there. But once you unscrew it, you can kind of play with it here. You can see, here's your memory card slots, A and B, or 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 controllers. So once you have that done, and I had to get a little more detailed. I took the disk drives completely out to investigate. So, yeah, what you do is to just access the top. There's a little cover that sits on like this with 4 main screws. Take the screws off. By the way, you're going to have to pull slightly, because this little plate here is metal, and there's magnet kind of grabs so it can spin the disc upward, keep it free of the tray. Okay, that's how it works. It grabs it magnetically. So anyway, you get here into the meat and potatoes of this beast, and you can take the tray out pretty easily. In fact, I'm not going to do this one because I already have one taken apart. But so, here's how it looks taken apart. All the ribbons have been detached. And when you want to remove the laser, basically this can pop out very easily. Looks pretty Cro-Magnon. So anyway, what you do, here's your little support rod, and you'd pop it down through these holes, and it just kind of grabs on like a fork, see, like this, and just kind of grabs there. Alright, and then you'd align it over here, set your one rod down, and just let it kind of fall into place. Okay? And it sort of slides along this track. Then you would take a little tiny mini set Phillips head, really small, like this. And, well, obviously, loosen it to remove it, tighten it to put it back in. Once you have it retightened, now, here's the problem for me. I've already swapped the lasers out. I've swapped parts out, tried it both ways, and they're both pooped. But anyway, see that little, this camera blows donkey nuts. See this little thing right here? This is a little bracket that has a U-shaped piece that snaps the ribbon connection into place. It would basically go in like this, and then you'd go clunk, bink, and snap it in. Well, guess what happened? That little SOB broke. So, and here are the pieces from it. Sadly. Sometimes Hulk smash. Sometimes Hulk save. But Hulk smash today. So this guy is pretty much crap shot. But anyway, to get the sliding tray back in is very simple. It takes a little bit of trickery, and as you can see, this is the problem here. You notice that logo piece is gone. We got this busted piece here. This is what I thought was the issue. I'm guessing it fell off a dresser and went okay. So there's a little sliding rod in here whose guide piece had been broken off somewhere back here at one point in time. Okay. So basically, to make a long story short, if this were sitting on top of here, this rod would catch about this point and then kind of just fall into the cavity, sort of the way the other one did here, and then you'd simply tighten the screw wherever it may be here. You'd simply tighten the screw here to lock that rod in place, and then the gears would turn along this track, and the sliding mechanism would start here and open it up and close it. Very simple. So I understand all of that. I know how it works. I've bounced back and forth between them, taken parts off, put them on, and they functioned up until the point where it didn't read the disc. So, but anyway, you got to be really careful. There's this ribbon connection that goes to the controls for power on and open close can slip out of its female end in here real easy. So you got to be careful. Plus this thing is kind of brittle. There's a little guide bracket here to keep it in place so it doesn't put too much stress, but they don't give you much room to play with here. Servicing one of these things is very difficult because there's so many inferiorly cheap parts. I mean, all electronics are that way, frankly. They're made inexpensively, and they break easily. I understand the parts have to be small and durable, but they're really not that durable, frankly. And one of these off of eBay could cost you anywhere between $15 and $100. If it's even the laser that you need. It could be a newer generation or an older generation. It could be for the slim. These are the big daddies. These are the fat boys. The Uncle Chubbies. And so yeah, this is me sitting amongst the body parts. And just gonna probably buy a new one because this is getting old. This is Bubba Nintendo. I am not a repairman.